Analyzing factored form of a polynomial function. Learning goals. By the end of this lesson or video, you will be able to analyze factored form of a polynomial function. So the first term we're going to learn is the degree, which is the exponent on x when all factors of x are multiplied together. Or, in other words, add the exponents on the factors that include an x. Now the second term is the leading coefficient, the product of all the x coefficients, and behavior use degree and sign of leading coefficient to determine this. Then we have the x-intercept. Set each factor equal to 0 and solve for x. Then we have the last term, y-intercept. Set x is equal to 0 and solve for y. Let's just look at this example, which is f of x is equal to -3, x minus 1 squared, and x plus 2 is the another term. So the first step is to find out the degree. So the degree here is, we will write degree here. In order to find out the degree, we know from the definition, we will find the product of all factors of x. So what I will do is, I will do x squared, and then I have x. So I have 2x and just 1x. If there is no exponent, it means it's 1. By using the exponent laws, I can add the exponents. Therefore, it's x cubed. Therefore, the degree is 3. The function is cubic. So I can say degree 3. The function is cubic function. Now we're going to look at the leading coefficient, which was the product of all the x coefficients. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to find the product now. So I can say here leading coefficient which is the product. So I have -3 here, then I have 1 and there is a square on top, and then there I have 1 as well. So -3 times 1 times 1, which is -3. Therefore, the leading coefficient is -3. So I can say here leading coefficient is -3. Now we're going to find out the end behavior. The definition is use degree and sign of leading coefficient to determine this. So since we know that it's a cubic with a negative leading coefficient, it extends from quadrant 2 to quadrant 4. So I can write here and behavior. Again, I will repeat. It's a cubic function with a negative leading coefficient, which is -3, extends from, we can say, quadrant 2 to quadrant 4. Now we're going to find out the x-intercepts. In order to find out the x-intercept, we have to set each factor equals to 0 and solve for x. So the first factor I have, so I can just write here x-intercept. The first factor I have is x minus 1 is equal to 0. Therefore, x is equal to 1. And I can write 1 and 0. And the other factor I have is x plus 2, and I will set that equals to 0. I will solve for x again, so it's negative 2. I can write another point as negative 2 and 0. Now we have the y-intercept. So the y-intercept, we have it set x is equal to 0 and solve for y. So what I'm going to do is I will take that equation, which is f of x, which is another way of saying y, equals to negative 3 x minus 1 squared x plus 2. So I will write that down first. So we have y-intercept. I will write the equation down. And now I can solve for f of x, which is y. I can say x is equal to 0. And we can solve. Minus 3, 0 minus 1 is minus 1 whole squared. And then here I can substitute that equals to 0 as well. So f of 0 is equal to negative 3. Negative 1 squared will give me 1. And it's 2. Therefore, f of 0, which is, we can say, y, is equal to negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. Negative 3 times 2 will give me negative 6. And therefore, the y-intercept is 0 and negative 6. So after this, you will be able to plot. So we know that it goes from quadrant 2 to quadrant 4. We will be able to plot the points. We can plot the points, this one on the x-axis, this one on the x-axis, and this one on the y-axis. And we can connect them, and then it will again go from quadrant 2 to quadrant 4, which I will be showing you in the next video.